All right, good afternoon, everyone, and thanks for attending the Crelate webinar series here hosted by Ringcentral. So today we'll be offering and introducing a new webinar and a new integration with Ringcentral. So we're very excited to announce this partnership. So we've certainly done a lot of due diligence and always do on our end when selecting and partnering with a provider. So not only are we offering this integration, but we've actually also recently switched over to Ringcentral ourselves. So we've migrated our phone system over, so we're definitely very committed to this relationship. And for those of you either using or looking to use Ringcentral, we're certainly excited to announce this partnership and integration, ultimately linking the two together to help you more easily track your phone calls, automate the click to dial, and just add a ton of other functionality within the product and within Ringcentral. So I will be passing the conversation over here to Erica so she can begin her presentation before actually following up and wrapping things up on my end. We'll actually cover and introduce some of those features and what they're going to eventually look like here in Crelate.
Perfect. Thank you, Ian. Hi, everyone. My name is Erica Schmidt, and I work with Ringcentral. I'm just going to go over a quick agenda here. Today, we're going to be talking about why UCaaS, and then we're going to get into Ringcentral, kind of who we are and what we do. And then, as Ian mentioned, I'm going to pass it back to him, and he's going to show a demo of their integration. So let's go ahead and get started. So I think we can all agree that business communications have changed over the years. Now we have, remote employees. We even have employees that are working outside of the country. So how do we unify the workforce on one single location while keeping collaboration on the forefront? And the answer to that is UCaaS. And for those of you who are not familiar with UCaaS, the definition is Unified Communications as a Service. So an interesting term I heard the other day, and I'm sure some of you have heard it, is application fatigue. And what is that? Well, we think about your iPhone, right? And chances are you have probably over 50 applications on there, but you're likely only living in about 3 to 4 of those. So that's the same thing, the same idea when we talk about business applications. We have all these business applications, which are meant to make us more efficient, but they're actually doing the opposite. And that could be a number of things, right? It could be just maybe a knowledge gap. It could be just these applications take time to log in, to log out of. And so the problem is employees are struggling to cope with an abundance of tools. UCaaS gives us the ability to unify all aspects of communications into one application. So this slide goes over communication preferences and how they evolved. So right over here, we have the traditional consumers, and that's typically your baby boomers, right? And baby boomers, to communicate, we do phone, we do email, some social media and text messaging. And then we start getting to the middle, and we talk about the Gen X, Gen Ys. And they are doing a lot more social media and text messaging, still doing phone and email. But then we get over here to the new consumers, and that's going to be the Gen Zs. And all they're doing is social and text media. And they still do phone and email, but as you can see, it's definitely not as much as, the other social and text messaging aspects. So why is this important? Well, as business owners, if you're looking to service multiple generations, you need to make sure that you're communicating the way your customers want. UCaaS is an important tool because it allows you to communicate over multiple channels. So enough about UCaaS. Let's get into why Ringcentral. I'm not going to spend too much on the slide, but I do want to cover a few things. Most importantly, Ringcentral has over 450,000 business customers at a 99% retention rate. So that's huge. So basically what that means is customers are trying us out and using us, they're not canceling or going away. That's great. Another thing I'll point out is our $100 million we spent last year, and that was put into research and development. So we are always, evolving And as you can see from a couple of slides ago, we have to evolve or else we're going to be left behind. And then I'm going to get into the Gartner report. So for those of you who are not familiar with the Gartner report, Gartner is an independent research company that evaluates global communication providers in two main areas. Those main areas are the ability to execute, so customer experience, right? And I think our retention number shows how happy customers are. Completeness of vision, innovation, staying ahead of customer needs. And we have been the leader in the Gartner Magic Quadrant over the last 4 years. So this goes over, just takes a little closer look at what the Ringcentral suite includes. So our foundation is fax, voice, and conferencing. And then we add in our applications like video meetings, texting, collaboration, instant messaging, contact center. But what really sets us apart, and I'm going to focus on the open and integrated applications, and we're going to talk about that in a sec. But basically what that is the ability to create a customized interface with our platform, which is exactly what Crelate did. Basically the ability to integrate with whatever application you're living in. And this slide just goes over, no matter what you're using with Ringcentral, like as far as if you're using an iPad, an iPhone, your desk phone, your computer, you're having the same exact user experience, no matter what device you're using. And this just goes over some applications we currently integrate. So we have over 140 plus out-of-the-box integrations, 1,000 customer integrations. And we are a global country, so we do service everything in the orange. And this is always growing. This probably isn't updated right now because we are constantly getting new countries. And then this just goes over, we service small to medium-sized businesses, but we also have enterprise customers. So this just goes over some of our big enterprise customer names. And now I will shoot it over to Ian. He's going to show you a demo of their integration. Ian, I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing, and then you can go ahead and start.
Awesome, that will work. And if you wouldn't mind just passing over that, so that I will share my screen and you should be able to see just the first deck on the slide. So Erica, thanks so much for that presentation. So now we'll be covering a little bit of kind of a three-part strategy here of what that integration will look like, some timelines as to when this will actually come out and when it will go into an open beta period, and then also some already perceived enhancements of how we want to improve this extension and some of the behavior in that moving forward. So if I actually just move over to the next slide here, this will give us a brief depiction of what this actually looks like in Crelate. So you have your click to dial option there. Just by selecting the phone icon, it will launch our Ringcentral extension. It will automatically place that call. But not only will it actually place the call, but it will ultimately give you the capability here. You'll see as the extension is selected, it'll pull that in. It'll actually log the details of that call as well. So you can actually edit the call activity live while you're on the phone. Keep your notes and changes. You can always come back, of course, and make any edits or amendments that you'd like. But you see the call notes are automatically logged as soon as you do place that call directly from Crelate. Another nice thing is on any inbound call as well. So not just on outbound, but if Vikram here were to give you a call, as you select the notification and answer the call from within Crelate, again, those notes are going to be logged. And again, everything will also be editable and amendable directly within the product. Now here's an additional example just of how you can come back in and actually edit those call notes. So within any activity, as soon as the notes are changed, let's say you perhaps need to come back, maybe you thought the call was over, but now you realize you wanted to come in back to edit or amend those notes. Simply by double-clicking and open the activity, you can edit your Ringcentral outbound call there. So on to the next slide, just to discuss a little bit of the roadmap, so where we think where we're headed, and hopefully get some of you guys here on the call actually into our live public beta that we foresee coming out here within the next month or so. So we're actually in a closed beta period right now. We are actually using this internally for our own team at Crelate, where we're just tracking through some of the functionality, giving feedback to our own development team, just so we can hopefully get in front of any issues and provide further product feedback before this actually goes out to a public beta. So for the public beta, we certainly would love to get any of you guys interested in that here as that goes live into June and July. So just feel free to contact us at sales@crelate.com just so we can actually get you into that as that goes live. So reach out to us right now on the call, after the call, or really anytime. We'll put your name on that public beta list so we can ultimately get you in and using some of that to hopefully provide more and better feedback, so we can in turn make those feedback into actionable product items. So for the launch and for upcoming features of where we're looking to go, so text messaging, right now you can send text messages directly from the extension, but in the initial beta release, those won't automatically track on the contact profile. So for the actual logging of text, that's something that we do have foreseen here on the pipeline. So shortly after leaving the beta and actually going into launch, we're going to actually come out with the full tracking of the text messages. Additionally, for call recording, that's been something else that's been brought forth as feedback to actually link to some of the call recording. So if you do have a Ringcentral plan that does log and auto log some of the calls and the actual recordings of the calls, that's some feedback we've taken, and we're hoping again in August and beyond to implement and integrate with Ringcentral to allow for you to easily toggle back and forth to your call recordings. Of course, there are plenty of future ideas. A lot of it will be based on your guys' suggestions as to how you are using the product. So we'll certainly rely heavily on you guys for feedback, just to hopefully cater the product to exactly what you all are looking for. So how to get started, as I noted, to get involved in the beta period, please contact us anytime at sales@crelate.com so that we can get you added as that goes live. And then for some prerequisites, in order to actually launch those calls, so you will need to be on a Ringcentral Premium or higher and on a Crelate Business plan or higher. So those will be the two packages and things to keep note of actually going into the integration itself, just so we can get you set up. You just want to make sure you're on one of those plans. Of course, if you have any questions about your Crelate subscription, again, feel free to reach out to us at sales@crelate.com. So that will conclude my portion of the webinar. I just want to thank everyone in attendance here for your time this afternoon. We're definitely very, very excited to continue our partnership with Ringcentral and get this integration moving forward. With that said, I'll kick things back to Erica just so she can give a final sign off.
Perfect. Thank you, Ian. Thank you, everyone who joined. I hope this was very informative for you. If you have any questions, the website's right there, sales@crelate.com. Looking forward to this great partnership. Thank you.